Hello, little gaffer cakes. Mr. Gaffer Cake here. Don't know why I said Mr. Little Gaffer Cakes to you all, but it is Random Game Thursday, I believe, and well, you can't tell from this, but from the title you can tell that I'm playing a game called Thomas Was Alone. So let's jump straight into it here, and straight away you can see, beautiful game. The program was a failure, people forget this, it was a massive flop. The coders started adding names to strings to the AIs as a joke. Thomas AT23612 wasn't special, it was just an AI in the right place at the right time.
Thomas was alone. Wow, a weird first thought to have.
So, you play as a rectangle. This actually made it to my top 5 games of 2012, which was number 5. And it isn't even that long. So I'm probably going to play at least,
Thomas decided to start listing his observations for posterity.
I love the narration. I'm probably going to listen.
The whole alone thing. 2. Portals. They led somewhere. He'd yet to work out where. 3. Falling. Thomas was absolutely fantastic at falling. He was almost as good at falling as he was at observing.
Let me talk. I'm probably going to listen to the... Let me just turn the sound audio down. Yay. I love how that's just an easy menu to use. Yep, just make sure it was. So I'm probably going to listen to the narration, as I think you should, because it's amazing narration. So this is just going to be probably at least 40 minutes. So what's the storyline of this game is, if you read the text at the beginning of each chapter, you're a square basically called Thomas. Well, square.
Okay, interesting. Thomas couldn't fall past this block. Think, damn it, think. What if there was some kind of inverted fall? Some way to... what's the word? Jump.
But I can't jump high and... yeah. The longer you hold down the jump, the higher you go, which is brilliant.
Thomas had solved the great inverted fall mystery.
Also notice the lighting. Oh, the lighting in this game. It's... the graphics in this game, it doesn't have many graphics to load, but the graphics it has, they do brilliantly.
A big jump. But Thomas noted there was no real danger in missing it. The world didn't want him to fail here. It was pushing him, but gently.
I made the jump. So, yeah, it's a brilliant game. I think it's only like... I picked it up for £3 in the Steam sale. Ooh, I'm almost touching where the light is coming from. So, let's move on. Basically, the storyline of this game is what I've gathered, is it's a failing program. You're a square...
This all seemed a little dangerous. The world was not to be trusted. It was unstable, and it seemed to Thomas could let him down at any moment.
Yay, haha!
He was starting to suspect it might be doing so on purpose. Paranoia.
By the way, water equals death. It's like Red Dead Redemption. Brilliant game. Best puzzle platform I've played in a long time.
Whether the portals were actually taking him anywhere. He felt like he was making progress, but there wasn't really any way to know. He seemed to be moving predominantly up and to the right, which might, or might not, be important.
Yeah, you're just trying to escape from the program is what I gathered. And what you should really have gathered by now. He's like trying to escape. Thomas. But Thomas was alone.
Have been paranoia again. But Thomas could have sworn the world was becoming more complicated. It always seemed to be one step ahead of his skills.
Also, if you don't know,
designed just for him. He wondered why. Was the world testing him? No. Too obvious.
Basically, if you've ever played the Assassin's Creed series, well, 2, Brotherhood or Revelations or 3, you'll recognise that voice, and that's because it is Sean. who I adore. His voice is one of God's. It's right up there with Morgan Freeman for me, and Tay Zonday. Jump. But yeah, the narration in this game. The narration in this game. Pass through respawn points.
About the boiling, toxic, glowing water intimidated Thomas. He didn't like it. He certainly didn't want to swim in it.
Make the levels harder so I
Another
don't.
mental note. 4. Water. Not good. To be avoided.
I think we should test out this theory of water as death in a later level. 0.9.
The loneliness was getting to Thomas. No amount of observation or obsessive note-taking could combat that.
So this video will be about 40 minutes long, hopefully, and you will see at least a fair chunk of the story and all of the most of the levels of Thomas Was Alone, because it is not that long of a game. And as you can see, I've already there's 100 levels in this. I'm already on the 10th.
Thomas had a new theory.
Jump.
The world was
Jump.
training him. He could
Jump.
feel himself getting
Jump.
smarter.
Jump.
There was the
Jump.
mental list to
Jump.
consider.
Jump.
Over the minutes and seconds since
Is
the
Thomas
spontaneous
British?
generation, he'd become a pretty
Well, Sean's
skilled
British in
jumper.
Assassin's Creed, so I think that's enough.
He was evolving. He just wished he had someone to share it with.
But Thomas was alone. Hey, see what I did there? You know, title of the game is Thomas Was Alone. Meh. Very simple ideas until you start getting to this. I submitted hundreds of bug reports. I told that idiot this was happening. Overlapping scripts, more than one IA was bound to be spawned into an environment at some point. Turns out I missed the point. You can read that last sentence for yourself.
An immediate and deep dislike to the skinny red rectangle. Who the hell did this Thomas think he was?
So this is Chris. As you can see, doesn't jump as high as Thomas, but is smaller. Maybe his smallest will. I'll give you a hint. His smallest does. His smallness helps us out.
Chris had been doing
Chris.
fine.
Chris.
He wasn't the highest jumper, but he'd held his own. He'd even been graceful at times.
And now to get above that.
Actually, not technically graceful, that's probably the wrong word, but you know, fine. There was that skinny little runt leaping about like he owned the place.
And here's where you actually get a lot of character developments in this game. Like, oh no, he just got hit in the face. Chris is that snobby bastard who nobody likes. Thomas is playful. He'll do anything. He loves people. Chris is... And then other characters, if we meet them, I'll give you a hint, we meet them. You get a feel for what they're like very easily because of how they play and also the narration that is given for them, which is a nice little touch, I think. Boom, next level. What is this, 1.3? Come on, let's go, 1.3. Minecraft 1.3. Well, what did the 1.3 upgrade?
This was more like it. A glowy
Meh,
white
push.
thing.
Push it.
Only Chris could get to it, which of course made it all the more enticing. What would it do? What new opportunity might this switch open up to him?
Yes, stairways like I'm doing right now where Chris has to jump on top of terrace.
Another chance for Thomas to jump slightly higher than Chris. Unfortunate. Seriously, this made the whole switch pressing thing entirely worthwhile.
This happens a lot in the game. Like stairways, yeah, probably one of the main things of this game. May as well have called it stairways.
Because
Was
on
alone.
the surface, it did not seem good. Chris was pretty scared. Little Red seemed fine, happy to be on his merry little adventure.
No.
Chris couldn't shake the feeling that things had taken a significant turn for the worse since Thomas had joined him.
So this is just normal
He'd
platforming.
been able to piggyback his way to ever so slightly higher platforms, but where had that got him? Well, to ever so slightly higher platforms, which was sort of his point.
I love the narration in this game. The narration is done beautifully. It's got amazing script and it's written by an amazing person.
Stared at Thomas with pure hatred.
Meh.
He seemed so very happy at their situation. Friends together, a brave fellowship of quadrilaterals on a quest for greatness.
Meh.
That would be
Chris, how
fine,
do you feel?
but it was all the obvious observation that Thomas was doing which grated. Every time they saw something vaguely new, Chris would hear a satisfied little from the vaulting idiot.
So yeah, Thomas doesn't like Chris that much. No, Chris doesn't like
They would
Thomas.
split them up, if only for a few levels.
Right, checkpoints. Just leave Chris there. So the game, it's an indie game. I think you can pick it up for like £6. Would I suggest it at that price? Maybe not. At £3, definitely worth it, which is what I picked it up at. So how are you guys doing today? I reckon today, on these videos, I'm probably just going to talk about my day. I had a pretty boring day, I guess. Knew I was going to fail that. I mean, let me turn the music even more down. Yeah, that's alright, I guess. Some people probably even didn't even detect the change. Parkour free running with Chris Parr, that is. Secretly, this is actually Chris Parr. What's this? A new character?
John knew. He knew that this was his chance. A moment to shine. This was game day.
Game day? John? It's John Hewell. Anybody who knows John Hewell, please tell him to get in contact with me. John Hewell's a friend from my past.
This would not do. John needed room to show off his exceptional skills. As it was, he was trapped on the wrong side of these little dot things.
Yeah, so the characteristics of John. Characteristics of John are very tall, jumps very high. That's basically John in a nutshell. Yeah. Often used for, well, guess what?
John inhaled the air of the open space, and it smelled of awesome.
See, he just jumps so high.
Time to flex those muscles, to put his training to use. Time to show those little dots how it was done.
I'm not sure if I
Decided
need...
to press the switch to let the little dots catch up with him. John cared for his new allies.
So then you gotta come all the way with Chris.
The sympathetic expression he practiced in the mirror all these years.
That's one thing that got me about this game. These squares have mirrors? Like, really? So this is just another simple one right here. Just staircases, that's the main thing in this game, I swear. Then of course you've got to get Chris over John. New boom. Street Fighter 64. Oh, I can't get past. So let's go with Geronimo. So my day was pretty nice. 5 lessons as per usual. What did I have first? Can't even remember. That's how good my memory is. I actually can't remember. I had Spanish. I don't like Spanish that much. Not a big fan of languages. I have no awful memory. I think I need John for... Yep, I needed John so Thomas could actually get over there. It's so simple, this game, yet so very brilliantly executed. What I think you have to do here is get John to jump.
John
Yep.
was happy to keep helping. He felt it was important to his image that he was seen to help the little guys.
Oh wait, never mind. You get off. You get off. You get off. You get off. John, can you get? Nope. You have to have Chris. Damn it. Then Chris. Chris. What? Okay. Did that like go up? I'm almost certain. Right, let's just restart the level. Failure. Yeah, it went up. So then you gotta have. So first you gotta have Thomas, then you gotta have Chris, then you gotta have John. John can just do that. That's how beastly John
He
is.
felt it was important to his image that he was seen to help the little guys.
Then of course you gotta have Thomas. Then Chris bringing up the rear. Chris just becomes a pain in the end, like. So let's create little stair. The jump in this game as well, if I have mentioned that. I have Spanish. I didn't like Spanish that much. Then I know I had IT, and that was pretty boring and a bit of a sit-off. Oh yeah, by the way, I'm going to be increasing my upload amount pretty soon, hopefully in the next few weeks, to 9 videos a week, which will be great for everybody apart from me, because I have to work a lot more, but it should be fine. I love how 8 videos a week is considered a lot when I know people like Seamus upload like 9 videos a day. Oh, that isn't. Oh, Chris getting real tidy. Oh shit, not being able to jump up the smallest of gaps. Smallest of gaps. Jump the smallest of gaps. That's how brilliant my English is. I can speak to English. So, looks like, yep, that's gonna come down. You're gonna get on. You're gonna get on. You're getting on. All of us.
So much either. The red one, Thomas, had a charming way of applauding every time John jumped.
So I'm gonna wait for Chris. Hopefully, Chris gets to the jump. Chris makes it. Nope. Nope. Aw, John. First times John's like failing in the game so far, and it isn't a good feeling. For John at least. I found it hilarious. This is just so relaxing. I feel as if I almost don't want to talk.
Less immediately likable, but his unremitting cynicism and tutting amused John.
Then John's gonna come up and just do everything in one. Jump like a boss. Then you're gonna have. Can you make? Yeah, you can make it up that. Next one, Chris Parr. Then you have Thomas, my cousin. And then you have John. Just John.
This was interesting.
Ha ha
Target.
ha.
This would require coordination, balance, and timing.
It really doesn't, by the way.
John was sure the dots would be lost, but he was happy to guide them to triumph.
So this level pretty simple. What you gotta do? Gotta go boom. Then you gotta use John to get Chris across. Then you've got to. Oh no. Wait, I'm pretty sure there's a cheat I can do on this level, which is that. Yeah, you can just do this. I figured this out when I played through the game for me. First time I was like, can't I just do that? And then, sure enough.
Maybe that's what the dots were for. They were there to extend John's reach, to make his performance even more impressive. John liked the thought. He decided to keep them.
So now, last one has got to be Thomas because he's falling while in it. It's a nice little touch. And then I'm on to chapter 3. Halfway through the video already. Wow. The initial group possessed simple variations in size and strength. More complex configurations were inevitable. As the era spread, these variations became increasingly extreme. Sorry about that. People came into room. I hate it when people come into my room. At least they knocked.
Claire would die. She knew it would happen eventually.
No, Claire. I've only just met you, but Claire.
Rubbish at jumping. She moved slowly. She felt a little like her continued existence was breaking some kind of natural order.
No, Claire.
The
Claire.
crumbling pillar was a dramatic death, she supposed.
No, the water, the dying water.
What? Claire couldn't shake the feeling that she was not, in fact, dead. It was at that moment that Claire realised she had superpowers.
Claire's the superhero. And then Claire, the fourth character in our brilliant
You needed
duo.
a cape. There was no getting around that. You couldn't be a superhero without a cape. Claire didn't want confusion.
So Claire, let's talk about Claire.
You saw
Claire's
a cape,
very
that
blue.
made matters clear. You knew what you were dealing with. Claire was all about communication.
And Claire, she doesn't die via water.
Floating in water,
Damn.
which was her superpower.
That's my first death. And it was with John. I'm almost sad. Damn, I can't... the way you meant to do is just get John like on top of Claire really. But you know, that's too easy. And too mainstream. Also notice that they can actually go across like little gaps without falling, which I've always found nice. And now you have the first level of all four
Right.
together.
Fear not, my skinny friends, for I am Claire, and I will save you.
If you just get him like that.
Claire needed to come up with a superhero name as soon as possible. Claire was rubbish.
It's just a brilliant game. Go buy it now.